Everyone delivering aged care has a role to play in promoting and providing rights-based, person-centred care. The rights of older people should be at the centre of the care they receive. This short presentation will provide information about how you can play your part in understanding and supporting the rights of older lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, transgender, or intersex people, or people of other sexual orientations, or are gender diverse or bodily diverse, LGBTI plus people, in the services you provide and deliver. This session has been developed by VELS LGBTI Aging and Aged Care. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the lands you and I are on and pay respect to elders of these lands, both past and present. It always was and always will be Aboriginal land that was never ceded. VELS LGBTI Aging and Aged Care is available to support you in the work that you do. VELS is part of Rainbow Health Australia at the Australian Research Centre in Sex Health and Society at La Trobe University. VELS aims to improve the ageing and aged care experiences of older LGBTI plus people, including access to information, services and supports as they age. We work with aged care service providers to build your understanding of the histories and experiences of older LGBTI people. VELS LGBTI Aging and Aged Care is part of the National Sector Support and Development, or SSD program. We are here to assist the CHSP, or Commonwealth Home Support Program sector, to be LGBTI plus aware and inclusive and meet your aged care obligations. As part of Sector Support and Development, we are supported by the Australian Government Department of Health, Disability and Ageing. Although funding for our program has been provided by the Australian Government, the material and information contained in this session does not necessarily represent the views or policies of the Australian Government. In this session, we will aim to build your understanding of the requirements around rights-based, person-centred care for older LGBTI plus people and share information about additional resources and supports available to inform your service delivery, information sharing and actions for inclusion. The session will provide an introduction to the histories and experiences of older LGBTI plus people and how their experiences may impact their access to aged care services. While we will provide an overview of their historical experiences, we encourage you to attend one of VEL's free monthly training sessions delivered online if you would like a more detailed understanding of their experiences and needs and aged care sector obligations regarding rights-based care, as well as actions to support LGBTI inclusive care. And finally, we will suggest some practical ways that you can not only further your knowledge, but deliver with actions to promote and support rights-based care to older LGBTI plus people. You can use this presentation to help your service understand its responsibilities around meeting the rights of all older people, and in doing so, your aged care obligations. As you may be aware, the rights of older people are the foundation of the new Aged Care Act. The Act, which commenced in November 2025, puts the rights of older people at the centre of the aged care system. Included in the new Aged Care Act is the Statement of Rights, which outlines the rights that all older people have when seeking or receiving Commonwealth-funded aged care services. All older people accessing aged care have the right to safe and high-quality care and services. They have the right to make their own decisions about their care, relationships, taking risks, and more. These decisions and how they choose to live their life should also be respected as well as accepted. Older people also have the right to information and to access or be provided with assistance and support to make decisions. They also have the right to raise a concern or complaint. Importantly, all older people have the right to have their identity, culture, and diversity valued, respected, and supported. They have the right to maintain connections to those important to them, people, community, and pets. Having an awareness of the experiences of older LGBTI people can help us understand the lack of rights that many have had throughout their lives, and that these aged care rights may not be well understood, but are very much needed to support empowered aging and aged care. Before we begin to explore the histories of older LGBTI+ people, let's further our knowledge of the rights, requirements, and frameworks now in place in the aged care sector. Every Commonwealth-funded aged care service and their staff have obligations to understand, support, and uphold the rights of older people seeking or accessing aged care services as outlined in the Statement of Rights. The Commonwealth, the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission, and the Older Persons Advocacy Network have a range of resources to assist you to both understand and to act. In addition, services must be delivered in line with the Aged Care Code of Conduct and the Aged Care Quality Standards. In relation to rights and care, the Code requires providers, responsible persons, and all aged care workers to act with respect for individuals' rights to freedom of expression, self-determination, and decision-making in accordance with applicable laws and conventions. Act in a way that treats individuals with dignity and respect and values their diversity. Respect the privacy of individuals and deliver funded aged care services in a safe and competent manner with care and skill. It requires you to act with integrity, honesty, and transparency, and to promptly take steps to raise and act on concerns about matters that may impact the quality and safety of services. And importantly, aged care services should be delivered free from all forms of violence, discrimination, exploitation, neglect, and abuse. The strengthened aged care quality standards also communicate the requirements of providers and staff to uphold and support the rights of each individual accessing aged care services. Standard 1, the individual, underpins the way that providers and aged care workers are expected to treat older people and is relevant to all standards. Standard 1 reflects important concepts about dignity and respect, individuality and diversity, independence, choice and control, culturally safe care, and dignity of risk. These are all important in fostering a sense of safety, inclusion, and quality of life for older people. Standard 1 guidance material supports the rights of each individual, which includes their diversity. And while Standard 1 points out that a person's diversity does not define who they are, it recognises that providers need to understand and embrace each person's diversity and who they are, and that this should drive how providers and aged care workers engage with older people and deliver their funded aged care services. Take some time to reflect on the expectation statement for Standard 1, and in particular, what that might mean for older LGBTI+ people, both in understanding them and importantly supporting them. The expectation statement says, I have the right to be treated with dignity and respect and to live free from any form of discrimination. I make decisions about my funded aged care services with support when I want or need it. My identity, culture, and diversity are valued and supported, and I have the right to live the life I choose. My provider understands who I am and what's important to me, and this determines the way my funded aged care services are delivered. Consider, How are LGBTI identities and cultures understood, valued, and supported by your service? Do you have an understanding of the lives of older LGBTI plus people? And what do you have in place to demonstrate and support safety, welcome, and inclusion? How can or does your service support rights-based, empowered aged care for older LGBTI people, given that for many, they had very few rights until late in the 20th century? Let's now explore some aspects of their histories. Most older LGBTI plus people have lived through periods of extraordinary social stigma, discrimination, exclusion, and abuse within their lifetimes. Historically in Australia, many older LGBTI plus people experienced widespread social stigma and discrimination from every aspect of society. It's important to note that until quite late in the 20th century, they had very few rights. Let's explore these experiences. They could have been locked up, forced to undergo medical and psychiatric interventions and practices against their will or without their consent. They could have been fired or had limited employment choices and/or opportunities if someone found out. It was commonplace for families, friends, and/or communities, schools, social clubs, and more to reject them, exclude them, or make them wrong. Disapproval also came from religious institutions, and there was often refusal of services, or sometimes they received a lesser standard of service or care. This also included health and care services. There were barriers in place by financial institutions, legal constraints regarding inheritances and wills, lack of relationship value or recognition, and much, much more. And with this exclusion, disapproval, and being made wrong from every part of society, there was also overt stigma and discrimination in the form of abuse and violence, often without the support of law. Many older LGBTI people have lived a large part of their lives where they had very limited supports and rights. And all of this continues to impact their overall health, well-being as they age, and their knowledge of and confidence to access aged care services. For many older LGBTI plus people, disclosure may not have always resulted in punishment or disapproval, but it was rarely celebrated. So as a result, some older LGBTI plus people accessing your services will make a risk assessment and may choose not to disclose. It's important as service providers that we clearly communicate welcome and inclusion to older LGBTI plus people and not wait for disclosure to implement inclusive care and actions. Disclosure should not necessarily be perceived by your service as a measure of success of LGBTI inclusion. LGBTI plus rights-based person-centered care understands older LGBTI plus people and communicates welcome and inclusion through demonstrated actions, regardless of disclosure. And just as social and legal changes began occurring in Australia for LGBTI plus people and communities in the late 70s and early 80s, the community was impacted by the AIDS and HIV epidemics. For some during this period, mainstream services and supports were often denied. And now for many older LGBTI people, the messages and narratives around ageing and aged care have been largely negative, with an emphasis on fear rather than empowerment. The fear of aged care and focus on negative experiences continues to dominate the minds of older LGBTI plus people, making them even more hesitant to access services that they can rightfully receive. Unfortunately, the aged care sector rights-based inclusive commitments, policies and requirements have not been widely communicated or understood. And even though more inclusive actions are needed from providers, Rights-based person-centred aged care services need to be promoted to support empowered ageing. Understanding histories and experiences, particularly the way that discrimination and lack of rights have impacted older LGBTI people within their lifetimes, can help us provide and promote rights-based care that builds confidence and reduces barriers of access for older LGBTI plus people as they age. Understanding the shared histories and past experiences of older LGBTI plus people can help us see the importance of promoting rights-based, person-centred care and providing inclusive, welcoming and supportive services. So here's some things that you can do to support rights-based, person-centred care for older LGBTI people. Want to find out more about the experiences and needs of older LGBTI people? Training is a great way. Provide or attend some LGBTI plus awareness and inclusion training to deepen your understanding of the experiences and needs of older LGBTI plus people. VELS conducts free monthly online sessions. Contact us to find out more about these or about working with your service. Develop an LGBTI plus action plan for your service with key actions that might include achieving specialisation verification for LGBTI, embark on some actions included in the framework. Ensure your team and service understand and implement rights-based care, understanding the Statement of Rights, Code of Conduct, and supporting rights-based care in line with your aged care requirements. Access specific resources developed by the Department of Health, Disability and Ageing, the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission, and other rights and advocacy organisations nationally, such as the Older Persons Advocacy Network or OPAN, or your state-based advocacy organisations to assist you. Promote and communicate rights-based care as the foundation of your service delivery to build the confidence of every older person needing care and support. Understand the hesitancy that many older LGBTI plus people might have regarding accessing home and community-based care. Identify ways to genuinely communicate safe, welcoming pathways and access to care. Actively seek feedback and ensure care recipients feel safe and empowered to raise any grievances or complaints and ensure they are aware of the processes and supports available. Review your processes to ensure they are rights-based and inclusive of the lives, experiences and needs of older LGBTI plus people. Play your part in providing rights-based inclusive care. Everyone has a role. And if you need information or assistance, contact VELS for support, resources and more to ensure your services and care for older LGBTI people is informed and importantly rights-based and person-centred. These organisations can help you with more information to assist you to understand, respect and implement rights-based care. All links can be found on the YouTube page as well as the accompanying LGBTI plus rights-based care document. Finally, contact VELS LGBTI Ageing and Aged Care for education and training, resources, information and support, which includes support to achieve My Aged Care Specialisation Verification Framework for LGBTI. And don't forget to sign up for our e-news to stay informed. All links can be found on the YouTube page as well as the accompanying LGBTI plus rights-based aged care document. Thank you for watching and supporting rights-based care for older LGBTI plus people.